Yeah.
Thank you for your time, guys. I appreciate you hopping on. Do you own a gun?
I own several.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I do.
As a matter of fact, I do.
Yeah, I actually bought 2 guns at the start of coronavirus.
Yes, I have a 9mm pistol and about 5 hours of safety training.
The only reason why I'm torn is because I don't want a gun.
Why are you considering getting a gun?
Because I have people who like to follow me who have guns. This be broad daylight, at night. It doesn't matter where. It happens everywhere.
Why do you have a gun and why are you planning on getting a gun?
Because I once had to call the police and they took 40 minutes to show up, so I don't trust the police to actually defend me, and I kind of believe I should have the ability to defend myself.
I own guns for protection.
Protection?
Because I'm a 29-year law enforcement person, and guns is a tool of my job, and I'm now retired, and I still have them with me to protect my family.
For protection. And 2, I'm an indigenous to America, so I can't let the colonizers take my weapons. I have too much indigenous blood in my land, so you know the roots of that.
Sure. So protection from...
Protection mainly from colonizers.
Only military and police should be able to have assault rifles.
What about people who want to be protected from the government?
They need to just shut up. Like, what the fuck are you doing? I get an assault rifle, like, what? An assault rifle for the government? Like, what is the government doing to you that bad? You need an assault rifle. Let me talk to that person.
Mine's almost more like political reasons. Police are nicer to armed protesters. Black Panthers were like a super influential movement that, you know, gets demonized today because it worked.
What's the Black Panther movement? Educate me.
Black Panthers were a liberation movement mostly focused on black people in the mid to late 60s, early 70s. They were forming a coalition of people that were against the white supremacist actions of our government. They weren't going out looking to shoot anyone, but the ability to do systemic violence is necessary to combat systemic violence.
The second a freedom is taken away is the more I want that freedom.
Okay. Do you think guns kill people or do people kill people?
Come on now, we know people kill people.
People kill people.
People.
The people are in control of the guns.
Gun doesn't think for itself. People use guns as a tool to kill.
I mean, the gun can't do anything without someone picking it up.
Guns don't have a mind of their own.
A gun isn't just gonna go off sitting on the table by itself. Somebody has to pick it up and pull the trigger.
So you could say like cars kill people because there's car crashes, but you know.
So many things are the fault of people. Car accidents. If every single person drove a car controlled by a robot, like there'd be no accidents because it'd just be programming.
People kill people with guns.
People with guns kill people.
I think stupid people with guns, because there are millions of people out there who use guns in a safe way.
I have 3 guns at home, and not one single time one has jumped up off the coffee table or out of my safe and shoot people.
Guns can kill people. Guns are also used for hunting, so they can kill animals, they can kill and destroy cars. Guns kill, period, not just people, anything.
The irresponsible gun ownership leads to innocent people dying.
What do you think is the problem in America? Why are there so many mass shootings that happen exclusively in America?
Probably the gun laws.
I also feel like the people that want to kill people would still kill people without guns.
It goes both ways.
I feel like there should at least be some more restrictions.
But you said guns don't kill people, so why does it matter if there's more or less guns out if people kill people?
I don't know.
I'm saying like it's like the gun laws are so free and open. It just make it easier for people that don't think as much. They have access with guns to just do whatever they want. You know, they don't think as much. So
I feel that in the United States, we're kind of overrun by guns. And to go ahead.
More guns than people in America.
There are more guns than people in America. I mean, if you've kind of got a spur of the moment, you're upset, I have access to a gun, I can use it and they're gone. But if you don't have access to the gun, you know, maybe you get into a fight and that's it. Other countries, you know, they have different gun rights, gun laws, and their homicide rates are a lot lower than it is here. So
I was raised in Canada. We don't have guns like that, and we don't have school shootings like that, but I also think it's something unique to America as well.
Oh man, you're making me put down the like vice right here. Hold on.
Lock in.
Yeah. Lock in. With a gun, it's really just this, and we take that for granted.
It's so detached from the act of killing.
We've detached to a point to where it's so easy to do anything. I could go on a rampage right now. It doesn't take much to just branch, like just do anything. I could be on the news.
Just same thing with all laws. Drug laws, people are still gonna have drugs. People are still gonna have guns. People are still gonna get a hold of anything. But I feel like a way to like prevent like most of the stuff that can happen. I feel like just more mental wellness checks and mental health checks.
What do you think's the main issue with all the mass shootings in America?
Hatred. If you see why people kill people, something that either made them mad, hatred, or a suicide, which means that they weren't happy.
It all stems from somewhere. There's signs of mental health, and that is usually the issue. You know, people are sad, people are hurt.
An individual can feel so isolated, so trapped, that they want to make a mark in the world, or they want to make an impact on something.
Do you ever just look at someone's eyes and like ever think about the experiences they've experienced?
It is crazy.
I'm looking at you, I know nothing about you, but you know everything about yourself. It just makes you think, what drives a person to commit?
These mass shootings, number one is to start with the guns. Mental health is a easy one to go to, but I feel like guns is number one. Every country has mental health issues. America's not the only place with mental health issues. Every country has it.
I don't think it's just a mental health issue. I think it's more of a priority issue for the American federal government.
Our whole motto, building up America, we're gonna ditch the weird shit that we did, but the foundation, now, this is America. Freedom, guys. Slavery, what the fuck? Native Americans, what are that? We don't know, but it's America, guys. You can do whatever the fuck you want. That's the American dream.
Our country is so fucked up, and the people that are in this country are fucked up also. The people who shoot up schools, they most likely pretty fucked up in the head, obviously, to do something like that. It all goes back to mental health, and then with mental health, we live in a country where most of us are not equal. We don't live on the same level. It's just a lot of hardships.
But I also think America itself is built on the premise of violence. We are a violent country. Everything that this country has become was due to violence. So I don't think it's odd for violent events to occur spontaneously, because that's exactly what this country has, been about.
When the federal government is spending so much money killing people overseas, killing our brothers and sisters in the Middle East, and now starting another war with Russia, when our federal government is setting an example to kill, what's the difference between its citizens doing the same thing?
American culture is different than a lot of places. There is a strong sense of individuality here. People really value particular freedoms here, guns being one of those.
Let's do some history. How was America founded? European colonization came over here. That's when a lot of violence, and they stole our land. So get the European colonizers out of our land first, get the land back to indigenous blood, indigenous people. That's how you get solve a lot of problems. But look at the demographics who doing a lot of the mass shootings. Look at all the problems in America, North, Central, and South.
When Obama said, he was talking about basically white people. He said they cling to guns and religion.
It could be upbringing, it could be the things we're allowed to see at a certain age. Kids are developing nowadays at such an early age. I remember I was 10 years old still shooting Nerf guns. I just saw a 10-year-old flick me off, cursing me out, and was like, I'm about to go smoke. I'm like, bro, you 10. The things that we use to endorse, the whole splat gun things, that's just one step down from an actual gun. You got little kids running through neighborhoods shooting each other with these. Now imagine if those was real bullets.
The youth, they thinking that, if they live to get 21, that's a blessing. Oh man, I made it to 21. Oh man, I lived. I'm an OG. An OG? You're still a kid. You're still up under your parents' insurance. 21? Really? I'm trying to make it to the Smucker's commercial. Smucker's commercial is anyone make it there, you're 100 years old.
Okay.
That's my goal, make it to the Smucker's commercial. Everyone's into these video games. The worst video game ever made, you know what that is, right? And everybody knows Grand Theft Auto. Everyone know that these kids are mimicking Grand Theft Auto. When you have these kids out here playing these video games and they get upset because they're losing, then that lets you know that the video game basically is running the child is not running the game. Consequences is what they're not understanding.
In GTA, you run away for a minute and you got 0 cops on you.
Right, exactly. And then also you get killed and you respawn on GTA. That doesn't happen in real life.
What do you think is the solution to all the mass shootings that happen almost exclusively in America?
Shoot, there is no solution.
There's absolutely no reason that an 18-year-old needs an AR-15. Like, that's 21 age limit. That's like literally the very least that we can do.
Like an 18-year-old should not have access to buying like a long gun.
I don't actually necessarily agree with the age restriction, partially just because, 18 is the age at which the government will give you an assault rifle and have you shoot brown kids halfway across the world.
I don't think that people under the age of 21 should have access to guns. If we can't drink, why are we allowed to have guns?
You can buy a gun at 18, but you can't go buy some weed or a Rello or cigarettes or something like that. It just don't make sense.
Man, I just got out of prison. I did decades in prison, where I did 20 years for burglary. Yeah. Now you have an open carry law in Missouri. So now you have 17-year-old, 18-year-old carrying guns. Broad daylight, the police can't do anything because they haven't committed a crime.
I think we should have stricter laws upon guns and who can have them and better background checks on them.
Mandating federal background checks on all the firearm sales is a minimum necessity. Having a waiting period for firearm sales is a minimum necessity.
Impose mandatory training systems for red flag laws. So if you're a violent offender or if you have a history of mental health issues, cool down period. You're not allowed to own a gun for the next 4 years.
I feel like you should go to the police station and present yourself if you're buying a gun, and I think you also need to just take some psychological evaluations and stuff like that.
So what do you ask the person in the psychological evaluation?
Are you crazy?
Do you want to kill people?
Yes.
We can definitely reduce mass shootings down to under one per day, which is what we have right now, with just some simple common sense laws that don't infringe on any sort of gun rights.
We have seen so much evolution in the making of guns, the capability of guns, but no evolution in the restriction. And we change our laws based on changes in the world. We have changed internet laws because who knew that we needed to create privacy laws for your data? Change happens, and we need to adapt to it.
They say the healthcare system is crumbling because there's not enough hospitals or not enough beds or anything like that. You can go to a mega church. You can go to a mega stadium. You can't go to a mega hospital because they never kept up with what's going on in today's world with healthcare, with mental health and all.
You mentioned that therapy costs money. I think that we should be paying for people to go to therapy.
If people claim that they're going to solve the gun epidemic by fixing mental health, they have to commit to that. They have to actually fix mental health.
The problem is they're charging $1,500 for a gun, but yet they're charging 25 cents for a bullet. And we'll see if people are really out there wanting to do these crimes when that bullet costs $100 a pop.
I don't know what else to say other than take guns away, period,
I feel just taking guns completely off the streets. Maybe.
Is that realistic though? There's more guns than people in America.
Oh, they've done it before in Australia once. They had a gun buyback, but
I think the sentiment for guns in America is a little bit different. People are proud to own guns more than it is a financial thing.
So in America, guns is part of the culture in this country. Right. So it'd have to start slow. You'd probably have to start with, an assault weapons ban, start there, and then slowly start to work things back.
So we have to get back to that grade school level, get everyone understanding no matter which God that you pray to is still a God, and get those kids to believe in their faith. And really,
do you think everyone should believe in God?
We're a free country. God gives us a choice to worship Him or not. We have freedom of choice.
How does God help with that?
If you get on the same level with God, if you got a direct connection with God, He tends to make people's lives better for them. They will be less likely to do that and other bad things.
Look, let me say something about people who go out and commit these mass murders. They once was just a little child. They didn't know what no killing was. They were educated into the art or whatever of killing. And people were strategizing. I'm telling you, they're strategic. The reason why it's always like a high school is because that's the future, and they're trying to kill it. And so they're sicking these crazy ass people on our babies.
This is big.
Absolutely.
big, huge. Our kids, our future. This is way more than anything else in the world.
I do think like it's a sad thing that like before when you were talking to someone else, like I started having a conversation with other people who stopped by, and like I think that like it's a shame that we don't have more opportunities to just like sit with strangers and have conversations.
I would love to look this up and just see what other people said, because the loop is like the melting pot of this area. It's just so.
No, this is dope. It's a complicated issue, but I appreciate you sitting down and talking to me. Thank you.
You're welcome.